Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. I'm John Dwanzik, and this is the regular meeting of the Avon Lake Board of Municipal Utilities. The time is 6:30 p.m., and the board here with me tonight is to my left, Mr. Mondello, and to my right, Mr. Ricky and Mrs. Schnabel. In the empty seat to my left is the position of Vice Chairman Tim Rush, who, due to illness, cannot be here tonight, and he is excused. Tonight's meeting is being live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, and the people who are taking in the meeting from those venues have an opportunity to give public input by entering their comments in the comment lines on either of those venues. Otherwise, people in the audience, which there are no guests tonight that the chair recognizes, have an opportunity for public input at the time that matter is called. Also in the room tonight to my right is Mr. Rob Monroe, Chief Utilities Executive, and at the table before me is Mr. Greg Urinich, Chief of Utility Operations, and Mr. Tyler Berry, outside counsel from Mansur, Gavin, Gerlach, and Manos. With four members of the board present, it still takes a vote of 3 in favor of any motions that are made. All votes are taken by voice vote with the exception of executive session, which requires a roll call vote. There is an executive session scheduled for tonight. Following the executive session, there is the possibility of board action. We won't know until we go through the executive session. So, Mr. Monroe, in lieu of Mr. Rush being here, did I cover everything
Yes.
in the perfunctory? Good.
You did.
So the first matter that comes to us tonight is the approval of the work session minutes from the February 3rd meeting. And are there any comments on those from the board? Okay, they are approved as submitted. The next item is the approval of the regular meeting minutes from February 3rd. Any comments on those from the board? Thank you all. They are approved as submitted. The next item is the aforementioned public input. As I said, no guests are in the audience, but Mr. Urinich, are there any guests that care to comment from the broadcast?
There is not, Mr. Chairman.
Channels? Okay, thank you. So we'll close that item and we'll go on to correspondence. Mr. Monroe, what do you have?
I do not have any correspondence to pass along this evening.
What do you say? What do you know? Okay, next item then is your expenditures on the goldenrod sheets. Would someone like to make the motion to approve the expenditures? Mr. Ricky.
I move to approve the expenditures for Avon Lake Regional Water dated January 30th, 2026 through February 12th, 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Ricky. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel. Discussion. Mrs. Schnabel.
I had nothing tonight.
I have nothing too.
Just letting your hands.
Oh, sorry. I'm probably just, yeah.
Mr. Mondello, what do you have?
Just the property tax payments on here. I'm assuming those are for recently acquired things and they'll get adjusted back out at some point.
They will be adjusted and credited. It was actually a bit of a delayed response. It was for 201 when we did the expansion with the additional storage building.
Okay.
Anytime there's any change in the property, it automatically reverts back to being taxed, even though
It's not.
no property transferred between owners. So that will end up being credited.
Yep.
Okay, then I have questions on the same items. I noticed that item 48 in Fund 701 is Mr. Talarik. And then in item 46 in Fund 723 is a negative number. And then in another page, item 42 is a negative number, and then we get around to fund, I think that's all of them. But why the negatives and positives and all that?
Because they did not budget for having this property be taxed the way it was. Mr. Logan had said he thought that because of the amount of time that had passed since that project was started and completed, that it wasn't going to revert to being a taxable property.
So you're saying that the building in the back that we recently completed is not going to be taxed? Or it is, or what?
No, it won't be. It was,
Okay.
If you recall, we ran into the same issue about 6 or 7 years ago when we consolidated our plat over here, our 40 acres that we own. Prior, it was all individual building lots and paper streets, and we consolidated the plat. When we filed that, it was 2 or 3 years later that we got a rather large tax bill, and we had discussion about that because of the whole process. It didn't change ownership, the use of it didn't change, it just was consolidating a plat. But the county reverts it back to a taxable parcel, and so we have to pay the tax, even though.
They refund.
Yeah, and so, but it takes several months. It's an unfortunate process, but that is the necessary. When we purchase all of our properties, we have that paperwork already filled out and we submit it immediately. We still pay the property tax, but it is refunded to us much quicker. Whereas in these instances, like the building of this our additional storage building, we had no idea that they even came out and looked at the property, assessed it, and they don't notify you that it's now taxable property. We know it when we get a tax bill.
So you have to appeal it.
We don't. It's just a matter of filing our paperwork that it's used for public purposes, and it's tax exempt. And it actually has to get filed with the county and goes to the state, and the state makes that determination. Again, it's an unfortunate process. It takes sometimes about 9 months, 10 months to get that refund back, but we track that to make sure that we are refunded the money.
Okay, so I guess we're have no budget, then we how do we get to be 20% below? Or, what's the right word? Overexpended on the budget.
There was some budget for it,
Okay.
meaning we knew that recent properties we purchased, we were gonna have to pay those taxes, so there was a small amount budgeted in those accounts, but what we actually paid was much more than what we had budgeted. So Mr. Logan, when he does his appropriations for the board,
Later in the year.
we will take care of all of that,
Okay.
so that it's
Okay.
brought up.
I always ask about those things because they always look odd.
Yes.
I don't have anything else. Anyone else have anything? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Hi.
Aye. The motion carries. Okay, next item is once again time for Mr. Urinich.
picture time.
Will Cosby. Picture pages.
All right, so this is
That looks great.
The jokes write themselves. This is the sodium hypochlorite room at the water filtration plant. The previous slideshow, I had showed that they had epoxy coated the flooring area, the containment area. They have gotten the grating installed, so that's great. These are the pump skids that will feed the sodium hypochlorite. So we have obviously redundancy built in at our current typical flows that we would see. We would have one pump feeding for intermediate chlorine, one pump feeding for post. If our flows start to approach the max capacity, there may be times when we would need two pumps feeding chlorine. So there's an additional pump plus the spares that are built in. So they will be installing those shortly for the sodium hypochlorite. And they have made some very good progress on the outside of the new filter gallery. This is taken from the north looking south. They have completed most of the brickwork there. And then this is from the opposite side from Lake Road looking north. They have that wall finished and they're finishing up the east wall. So if we do run into any cold weather again, they'll at least be in a much better shape as far as being able to keep the inside area workable. So there's some good progress there. Any questions on any of those pictures from the water plant?
How will the side that faces the road be landscaped? Is that gonna be mounted against that fluted wall and went and bushes along it, or what?
I
What's the
believe there will
plan?
be some smaller landscaping. I don't think they're gonna be doing a mound on that area. But I believe there were some plans for smaller ornamental bushes along there.
Well, keeping in mind that this is part of our public face, we would want to
Mhm.
make it look nice.
Yes.
Is that matching the old and the new? Were they the same? It looks a little different at the break point.
The brick,
Yeah,
the brick is matching.
Mhm.
just a little
new-
dirtier.
Newer, yeah, just a newer brick, but yes, the colors were matched.
Yes.
I assume some sort of flashing will be put along the top of the brick to match
Yes.
as well. It's not an optical illusion or
No.
anything.
Um,
Okay,
moving on to the TechWin project, I had mentioned, and the skylight. I forgot that picture was in there. So they do have the skylight sealed and some natural lighting going. The TechWin project, staff has repaired all of the PVC piping that was damaged during that freezing. We're still waiting on two electronic valves. These have kind of been added to a list of things that if we were to do this on a full scale, standardize the equipment, make sure that it was all readily accessible. Just to continue with the specific equipment that they had specified, we were waiting on two valves along with two spares to have just in case. Anything that we have encountered that could be a failure point, we want to make sure we do have some extra pieces on site. If anything were to fail again.
Well, why could we not find these valves locally? What makes them unique? Are they 50 hertz or?
Because it was all programmed in through their standard, I guess, equipment, we wanted to continue with the same rather than worrying about any
Valves,
programming, voltage issues.
Yeah, see, that still bothers me a little bit.
If we were to go full scale here,
It would have to be.
we have a list of things that we would request that it would make sense to standardize.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
yeah, I think we covered that previously. What else?
So that's pretty much it for TechWin.
Water bundle?
Water bundle. So they have gotten back to performing work. They're completing the transfer of the old services to the new Drummond. Any of the areas that they have completed, they have done their rough grading. They put plenty of straw down to keep the mud in check. Once the weather starts to improve where it makes sense to do the final restoration, they'll have a crew going around to perform that work. And KMU has also completed 140 out of the 419 indoor meter relocations.
Okay. Question, Mr. Rick?
Yeah, no, I just want to compliment the guys. They are working on Orchard Park, my street, and I got notified by a hangar letting me know that the water was going to go off this morning. And they said between 8 and 10, at 5 minutes after 8, the water went off in the middle of a shower. Had to finish in a hurry. But so far, like I say, entering and exiting has been kind of a challenge because they're right at Jaycox and Orchard Park. But I will say they've worked real hard. They don't know who I am, but they worked real hard on getting cars in and out. The police have also done a wonderful job. There's an officer there who's letting you in because you're right in the middle and they're excavating. One lane is being excavated of the 2-lane road, but I just want to compliment them on the work that I've seen so far. And again, they don't know who I am, and I was very impressed with what they've done the last 2 days. So thought I'd just pass that along. So there was a door hanger. Plus, I received an email. I didn't know we were sending out emails, but I also received an email telling me that there'd be a water outage. So again, kudos to UUI and the police and everybody involved.
Wasn't there a report of some cranky old man on Orchard Park?
I'm sorry.
They don't know who he is, but there was a report of a cranky old man.
No, that was Dennis
He
Nick.
came
I have
out
no
in his-
further
his
comment,
bad
Mr.
towel.
It's bad.
We have nothing more on that.
Anything else, Mr. Urin?
That is all, Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
thank you. Next item is CUE report, Mr. Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do have a couple of items and Mr. Urinich has an item. First item I have is in regard to our expansion of our administration building. Our project timeline, we are looking to put advertise for bids on March 3rd. And looking for a bid opening in the first week of April for that. So we are progressing with that. We had hoped to have that out to bid already, but there was some last minute comments from staff when we looked at the final documents. The next item I have to report on is also a bid that engineering staff is working on. This is for demolition bid for the structures at the water filtration plant that if you recall, we originally included that as an option or as a second bid when we bid out our construction. We only had one bid received, and we did not execute the contract with them because they did not incorporate hazardous material removal in their bid. So we did not feel it was appropriate to award that contract. So because we could not demo any of the structures until the new work was done, we waited to put that bid out. And we are also working to include the Division Street, the former water tower at Division Street. Mr. Klein and Mr. Larson have been working with the cell companies, and it's been a challenge to say the least with them, but they have to relocate off of our tower. And that may come in the form of a ground lease that they would put up a cell tower in that area, lease the property from us like we do at some of our other locations. But the bottom line is we need to demo that tower. So we would like to include that with this demolition bid as well.
It's like the 5th anniversary in a row.
It is.
Coming soon.
It is. That is all I have to report on. Mr. Urinich has an update.
Mr. Urinich.
We have an employee, Mr. Justin Conrad. He's an infrastructure technician that works over out of engineering. He has reached his 1-year anniversary today, actually. Per the collective bargaining agreement, he will be moving from the step 3 that he's currently at to step 4 at $29.09 per hour
Okay, well, congratulations.
When is that effective?
today.
Today. Okay.
Time flies. Okay, any members with reports or miscellaneous, Mr. Ricky?
Yeah, I just attended the Lorco meeting last week and got year-end numbers. I'll review during an executive session on just numbers for the board's information. We'll talk about that later, but I did attend the meeting and there was nothing else really constructive or important to us during that meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any other members with reports? Hearing none, we'll close that item. Let's open up public input. Mr. Urinich, anything?
It's not.
Okay, we'll close that item. Let's go on to executive session. Would someone like to make the motion? Mr. Mondella?
I move to meet in executive session as allowed by ORC section 121.22, section G2 and G3 to discuss the purchase and or sale of property for public purposes and pending or imminent court action, and to include the CUE, the CUO, and a representative from Manzer Gavin.
Thank you, Mr. Mondella. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Ricky. We'll do a roll call vote. I'm sorry.
Just so we stated for the record again, based on our discussion in executive session, the board may take formal action upon reconvening the public meeting.
Thank you for that reminder, Mr. Monroe. We'll do a roll call vote. Mrs. Schnabel.
Yes.
Mr. Ricky.
Yes.
Mr. Mondello.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. We will go into executive session at this time. If we have any action by the board following the executive session, it will not be on the live stream. So I bid the live audience adieu, and we will be back, I believe, in 2 weeks, Mr. Monroe. Okay, so enjoy the balance of your shortest month, and it only gets warmer from here, right?